Method no longer works. Ooh, bro. Chat, would we be down to watch this video? Yo, dude, this could actually be such a good video to watch.
Brings it away for Bradford. There's only Ellis with him at the moment, though, and he's
bro,
straight to Redford.
Who's down to watch something spooky with me?
Offside flag this time against
That future, bro. If like I said, if you get Soldier and Basco on, we're chilling.
1985. A soccer match is underway in Bradford, West Yorkshire, England, between the visiting team Lincoln City and the home team Bradford City, a group riding the high of having just won their divisional championship in the week prior. This was the season finale for the club, one last match for the team and the fans to cap off what was otherwise a historic run. However, it wasn't just the season that this game would mark the end of.
This is about sports. No, this is the darkest moments on TV history.
Is this what I think it is?
At the time, Bradford City played their matches at a site called Valley Parade Stadium, with the facilities growing a reputation around the league as being incredibly outdated, and to many, downright neglected. The awnings that stretched over the fans were made of old rotted wood, while underneath the stands were heaps of old
Yo, is it rotted wood more flammable, or what?
That would pile up all throughout the season and rarely if ever be cleaned. The whole place was a mess, and the city knew it too, which eventually led to their decision to just
yeah, nobody costs money. I get it for free though. Shout out to Ectoplasm. Let me see. What one was really good, bro? I used to use the editing software that was actually really solid. Just make sure you find one that's free and that doesn't leave watermarks. Watermarks. It's 2024, bro. Are we really still leaving watermarks on editing softwares? Come on, bro.
Rebuild the stadium.
I got a crack. Send it to Snog, would you?
Being set to tear the whole thing down soon after the game would end. But as it turns out, fate wasn't willing to wait quite that long.
No fucking shot. This thing is bad. Is it really that bad?
A spectator was watching on, enjoying a cigarette, taking one last drag before flicking it out of his hands. I still locked intently on the game, failing to notice that the cigarette butt had slipped through the floorboards of the bleacher and landed on the ground below. This almost immediately caused a small fire to break out, which was noted by the commentator John Helm.
We've actually got a fire in the stand on the far side of the ground. And that looks
holy shit!
Very nasty indeed.
Wait, it's actually wraps.
The cigarette only being dropped a minute or so before, the fire was already visible from the stands, as within that old stadium was the perfect makings of a disaster.
I'd if it's on here.
When that cigarette fell to the ground, it didn't just land on the grass, because the grass was likely not even visible at that point, and was buried under mounds and mounds of garbage. Garbage that acted as the perfect kindling for the blaze.
Shit!
And that wasn't all. Remember, one of the main sticking points of the rebuild was the fact that the awnings that reached above the fans were made entirely of that old wood, meaning that you had heaps of kindling, tons of wood, and now a spark. With the final fatal factor being that it was a windy day. It was the perfect storm, and the results.
Holy shit!
Were
devastating. No way! No way! Okay, only 1 minute left. Surely it can't be that bad. Okay, that's pretty bad, man. That's pretty bad, buddy. 1 minute, okay. 2 minutes later. Holy shit, now that is insane.
The black ball of smoke is rising hundreds of feet in the air.
Oh my goodness, bro. What the hell?
It took approximately 3 minutes for that small fire to engulf the entirety of the stands, as the black smoke billowed into the sky and the crowd desperately rushed to the field to get away from the heat.
And the whole place is
it's all from a cigarette, buddy.
They've been talking about having a new ground at Valley Parade. They might soon have to have one.
Yep, well, it's about time, buddy.
This is the day that Valley Parade Football Club, the football ground, is burning down.
The footage is highly disturbing, so much so that I can't show the entire thing. But during this time, however, a radio broadcast was on air, with the audio giving us a good idea of just how chaotic the scene was, and the moments when the blaze really erupted.
we've on fire here at Valley Parade. The whole end of the stand at one side is actually
Whoever
in
had
flames now. I can see
used
the
the
orange
sig
of the
must
flame.
have
The
surely
game is
gotten
actually
jail
stopped
time
here at
or
Valley
Maybe,
Parade.
maybe.
People are running around. They're running around beside us. They're running around all round us, and people are saying, "Get onto that pitch."
The whole stand is on fire, Tony. It's an absolute, it's spreading quickly. There's going to be,
Holy shit.
problems, Tony.
Let's get all those people out of there. Let's get those people just taking.
Yo, dude, it's funny how they used to talk back in the day. Is it just me, or is it because of the way I don't know. Don't they kind of talk kind of funny?
Don't push. Wait for the kiddies. People are coming round us. You can hear the heat, the smoke coming everywhere. We are going to have to disconnect very shortly because it really is flaming all the time. We're taking a break. We're getting out of it.
Damn.
In the stands that day
Just
were
a cigarette though?
approximately 6,000 people, and based on the footage, many of whom were able to run to safety very quickly, which gave a sense of hope that the ordeal might end in minimal casualties. Though there was another side of things. Those who chose not to run towards the field opted to go the opposite way, as there was an entrance and exit located directly behind the stands where the
Wait, this is not
fire
good.
had started. And when the crowd managed to make their way to this exit, they were met with a disturbing revelation. The gates were shut, and those that were open or busted open were also blocked by slow-moving turnstiles, some of which being locked themselves. And as the crowd began pushing more and more to get through these turnstiles, it in turn led to a crush of humanity,
No!
with everyone piling on top of one another as the fire slowly consumed them.
Holy shit.
When the smoke cleared and the bodies were counted, 56 had tragically lost their lives, while another 200
No fucking shot, bro. Why were the gates closed? Bro, why were the gates closed?
65 were left with serious injuries, with the tragedy leading to numerous new safety standards for soccer stadiums across the country, as Valley Parade's notoriously bad reputation had finally caught up with it on its very last day of operation, marking one of the deadliest days in the world of soccer, and one of the darkest moments in television history.
Snog, that is fucked.
Bodies are being
That is
dragged
fucked.
away from that stand.
That recorded the man's actions as he was taping a special program. Oh my God!
What an intro.
Oh my God!
What an intro, though. What an intro. Way to set the stage.
Before we dive into our next case, it seems that one of the anti-workers is back in danger from
What is this? Balloon Priest. Yo, Chad, this looks like it's gonna be GG's for this guy. What the hell is he doing up there? He said they got full box. What the first thing they got full boxed?
Stunts. From the very beginning of broadcasting, viewers have been captivated by the sight of people risking their lives to pull off these seemingly impossible spectacles. But while most of these performances are done by trained professionals, perhaps one of the strangest television stunts ever performed was one done by a man with hardly any training at all. Adelir
GG's.
Antonio de Carli. Born in Pelotas, Brazil, Adelir felt a calling early in his life to dedicate himself to God. This eventually led to him becoming a Catholic priest, where he developed a deep connection with those in his community. To many, Adelir was considered a man of the people, someone who had a passion for religion and a goal to make it accessible to as many people as possible, which is where he developed the idea for his most infamous project. Near his home in Brazil was a popular port city named Paranagua, which saw the import and export of a vast array of goods, making it a central hub for truckers to drive to and from on a regular basis. But Adelir began to realize that for these truckers, the vast majority of their lives...
Chad, have trucks always looked this way? I never really thought about that. Do trucks, were they just like default, like they always looked like that? When did trucking become a thing, boys? Anyone know?
...were lived on the road, and this rarely, if ever, allowed them to practice their religion. This revelation inspired Adelir to start putting together plans to build a chapel at a trucker's rest stop right in Paranagua, which would allow for drivers to stop and worship while on the road. In theory, this seemed like a great idea, and one that the community could easily rally behind, though there was just one issue: the money.
I was just about to say that. You can't build a church without fucking money, pal.
Building a chapel and maintaining it was not going to be cheap, and far exceeded what was possible with just his salary, making the whole thing seem like more of a dream than anything, unless he could somehow find a way to raise the funds.
Alright, this is where
Which is
things
when
get
he
bad.
had the idea. He was going to create a public spectacle, one where he would attach himself to hundreds of helium-filled balloons.
GG. GG. Okay, the thing is, how did he ever think that was going to be a good idea, buddy?
And take off into the sky in a process known as balloon clustering. Believe it or not, this was actually a somewhat well-known stunt at the time, as popularized by a man named John Ninomiya, whose footage was shown on numerous television stations a few years prior in 2006, and perhaps having been
Holy shit. Chat, when balloons reach a certain height, isn't it GG's?
inspired by this, Adelier viewed the stunt as the perfect opportunity to fund his chapel, with his plan being to break the world record of 19 hours in the air, and in doing so, use the publicity to gather donations.
Yo, at a certain height, don't balloons just explode?
But the only problem was, he had no experience whatsoever. He had gone skydiving numerous times before though, and he believed
Yes,
that his
because they will
familiarity with
eventually
that
pop
would help
and
him to
die
break
from
the
fall
record in no
damage.
time.
100%, bro.
And so, on January 13th, 2008, in the city of Umpere, Brazil, over 600 balloons were filled with helium and attached to a chair, which Adelier was then strapped to. He began to lift off the ground, quickly floating high in the sky, as the news cameras were there to film it all. The flight saw him travel roughly 17 miles and reach an altitude of 17,000 feet, highlighting just how
17,000 feet. Chat. Dude, 17,000 feet. Dude, you're done, bro. You're done. Bro.
This
Holy-
rotate is insane.
This has to be one of the craziest rotates ever. What is that again?
publicity to gather donations.
Bro, what?
But the only problem was, he had no experience whatsoever. He had gone
Bro. Bro, the rotate is insane.
skydiving numerous times before though, and he believed that his familiarity with that would help him to break the record in no time.
Bro.
And so, on January 13th, 2008, in the city of Umpere, Brazil, over 600 balloons
I wonder if they made the movie up because of these types of things. Bro, this is a known stunt.
were filled with helium and attached to a chair, which Adelier was then strapped to. He began to lift off the ground, quickly floating high in the
Hey, at least he was comfy.
sky, as the news cameras were there to film it all. The flight saw him travel roughly 17 miles and reach an altitude of 17,000 feet.
70-mile rotate is insane, bro. 17 miles, 1,700,000 feet in the sky, or 17,000 feet in the sky. Nuts.
Highlighting just how dangerous of a stunt this really was. But despite his lack of experience, after around 4 hours, he would touch down safely in Argentina, marking the end of his first successful
Huge.
flight.
Huge.
It was a promising start and inspired Adelier to continue planning and prepping for his next attempt, which he resoundingly told people would break the world record. In preparation for doing so, he took part in various jungle survival training exercises and even took up mountain climbing, as he knew
Okay, listen here, folks. I feel like Brazil or Argentina, wherever they are, is not a good idea. With like balloons and shit. Buddy, what if the winds are just so high, you get stuck in one of those huge jungle trees? Then it's GG's. You get cut up and you fall to your death. What were they thinking?
he would be flying over remote regions, which left him at risk of being stranded somewhere in the wilderness. To further aid in this, Adelier would also have a satellite phone and a GPS, which he would use in tandem
Hey,
to help
Valentine's?
track his location
Happy Valentine's, Nilo. I need to find a Valentine's. I think tomorrow I'm going to go on ePal and find a Valentine's. But happy Valentine's Day.
and call for assistance should things go awry.
I'm going to buy a
It
Valentine.
seemed that Adelier was ready for anything. But on April 20th, 2008, as a crowd gathered around to see this man attempt this record, the weather
today,
began
yeah.
to take a turn for the worst. During a
Wait, so, okay, what did I say? The bad weather. Just call it off, buddy.
tandem to help track his
I'm
location
pretty sure you still didn't play Black
Chat,
Ops.
didn't we play Black Ops? Dude, one of the days we played Black Ops, JFK. Did we? Bro, we had to play Black Ops at least once. No? Bro, no, we played Black Ops 3. We played Black Ops 3 Zombies. I remember we played Black Ops 3 Zombies one of the days.
and call for assistance should things go awry. It seemed that Adelier was ready for anything. But on April
What's up,
20th,
JFK?
2008, as a crowd gathered around to see
No, you didn't? Withered, you've seen me play Black Ops 3 Zombies in my stream. Did you not? Bro, I remember there was Brianna Bro, Brianna's not showed up since that Black Ops 3 stream, actually. Bro, I literally got... Dude, all the girls left after that. I made a gift for my boyfriend. Can't wait to see his reaction. Let's go. That's huge. What's going on, JFK? That's huge. Valentine's in Brazil was only on 12th of June, but it was a good excuse. That's huge.
See this man
huge, man.
attempt this record. The weather began
So you were on the kick stream? I have no idea. That was an IRO EPAL, I guess.
to take a turn for the worst. During his first flight, the skies were sunny and the winds were calm, but on this day it was gloomy and the rain was falling hard off and on, putting the whole stunt in jeopardy. But Adelier remained confident, boasting that thanks to God he would have perfect weather when he was on his flight.
Alright, this is just insane. This is genuinely insane.
Porque eu vou subir acima dela. 10 minutos eu ultrapasso ela. E depois vou voar sempre em tempo bom.
And despite some trying to convince him to push things back, he knew that the crowd was there for him. And this was his chance to secure funding for his dream project.
Yo.
Com essa quantidade de balões, o padre deve viajar a cerca de 5.000 metros de altitude. Com ele
That's Portuguese. We need some translations, ladies and gentlemen.
lá em cima, vão estar ainda um telefone celular por satélite, GPS...
Okay, at least he's strapped, though.
Chegando a Dourados, no Mato Grosso do Sul. O tempo estava fechado.
Dude, this is a horrible idea, man.
Era 1 da tarde quando ele subiu, levado por 1.000 balões de gás coloridos. Pretendia bater o recorde.
And with that, he was off, soaring quickly into the sky where he eventually disappeared into those thick rain clouds. For essentially all of his flight, those clouds made it practically impossible to see the man, which was further exasperated by the fact that this time he had used 1,000 balloons, as opposed to 600, which brought him to an even higher elevation, this time touching almost 20,000
said everyone
feet.
subscribe
But just
to
because
my
he was out of
Vans, Balloon Flying Guy 101.
GG's. It's actually bad, bro.
sight, that didn't mean that we couldn't hear from him, as he would soon call down to a local news station to share a somewhat concerning update. Despite dedicating countless hours of training before the flight, there was one thing that Adelier had failed to prepare for: the GPS, as he was never shown how the device actually worked, and he
Bro. Dude.
He only realized that he had
Bro.
no idea how to operate it once he was already at his peak altitude,
GG's.
meaning that he was
GG.
essentially flying blind.
Does that carry a
he had set
parachute?
out on
No.
was set to see him travel 400 miles inland to a city named Dourados, and by his prior calculations,
Stay in the
the
mid
wind should
Brazil?
have still been
Nice.
taking him at the very least in that direction, which for a moment gave him a sense of calm, as he trusted the preparation even if he didn't know his exact coordinates. But after a few hours, as the moon began to rise, so too did the panic within Adelier, as he caught a glimpse of a strange sight on the horizon: the ocean.
No, bro. No. He doesn't know his coordinates, bro. He doesn't know his coordinates. So he can't... If he's out in the ocean, it's going to take him still forever to find the guy. It's the fucking ocean.
Somehow, the wind had done a complete 180 and had blown him in the exact opposite direction that he had prepared for. And before he knew
Imagine
it, he
belly
was flying
flopping
directly over the sea,
17,000 feet
with no way of
high
stopping
RIP.
himself or even slowing himself down, as he was now flying alone into pitch blackness. Adelier called his team and requested they send rescue, but there was no way to give his exact location, and by this point, he was already
Exactly.
nearly 40 miles out to sea. After being just 8 hours into his 20-hour flight, the ground team would lose contact with Adelier after receiving a message from him begging for his rescue.
Okay. Why don't they just tell him? Why don't they just show him or tell him over the phone how to use the GPS? And maybe none of this would have happened. What the hell is this, chat?
And he would never be heard from again.
Why not teach the guy how to fucking use it midway through? Just call him and be like, hey, just turn the thing on and press these buttons. Walk it through it.
And away. A Catholic
They
priest
should have
trying
attached
to
an
break a
Apple
record
AirTag on
for
him
most
next
hours
time.
flying with helium-filled party balloons vanishes into thin air.
The subsequent search for Adelier was broadcast heavily all across the world, with the media dubbing him as the Balloon Priest. And after nearly 9 days of searching, the only sign of the man was his balloons. They were found detached and floating in the ocean, with there being no sign of the priest whatsoever,
Damn.
leaving his fate as a total mystery. At least at the time.
Oh shit!
On July 4th, 2008, a tugboat...
Wait, when was this originally? What year was it? Anyone know? When was Balloon Priest?
Sailing off the coast of Mackay near an offshore oil rig would spot something floating in the water, and upon closer inspection, it would be identified as a body. Or at least part of one, given all that remained was the subject's
hopped
lower
on a
half.
ship and fled to escape tax evasion.
Dude, that would be fucking nuts.
And upon DNA testing, it was confirmed that it did in fact belong to Adelier Antonio de Carli, who likely crashed into the water and drowned, only to be picked away at by various predators of the ocean, thus ending the Balloon Priest's saga in a tragic, yet for many, unsurprising manner.
His lower half only found? Really?
Night is the most dangerous time for pedestrians along streets and highways. To be on the safe side, walk facing traffic and wear light-colored clothing for quicker recognition.
Walk facing towards traffic. Okay, that makes sense. You don't want to get run over. That makes sense.
By approaching drivers. Facing traffic and wear light-colored clothing for quicker recognition by approaching drivers.
Chat, this reminds me of that one game where you have to find a ride. Remember that? And you get picked up by this weird guy? Bro, anyone remember that game?
And once you get into a car with somebody, you're at their mercy.
If your car should become disabled, the rule of thumb is stay inside. There are signs you can get to put on the back window to summon for help.
It was the waning days of 1986. New station NBC7 San Diego records and broadcasts a PSA segment about
Rides with Strangers, that's what it was called.
Safety on the roads, and specifically what to do if your car breaks down at night. This may seem like a fairly random topic, but for residents of San Diego, fears were rising over just how safe their highways were, as just a few days prior, a 20-year-old college student named Kara Knott had gone missing.
It started in 2008 and ended in 2008.
Only for her car to be found pulled over onto the shoulder of a tall bridge, where underneath, police would find her body, having been strangled brutally and tossed over the side to the ground below.
Holy shit.
Understandably, residents were concerned, with many assuming that she had ran into car troubles and likely exited her vehicle to get help, only to be kidnapped and killed by a nearby motorist. And due to this, NBC7 thought the segment would be effective in educating those out there, in the hopes of avoiding another situation like Kara's, especially considering at this point, her killer was still somewhere out there. For the video, they even had a highway patrol officer come out to share his tips.
Being a female, you could be raped, robbed if you're a male, all the way to where you could be killed. Once
This is messed up, man. There's messed up people in this world.
As well as a man whose car had broken
W
down
censor,
when they
thank you.
were
W
filming.
save.
Do you realize how dangerous it is?
Yes, I realize. In fact, I was putting the gas in, and a 18-wheeler came by and almost blew me away.
Overall, the segment appeared relatively harmless, with the main messaging being to contact authorities and wait for their assistance rather than trusting a stranger. But still, this did little to calm the public's nerves, as paranoia rippled through the community, and speculation began to run rampant on who was responsible for Kara's death, which is when disturbing allegations began to emerge.
It was O.J. Simpson.
Following this report, 24 separate women would come forward to share their bizarre encounters that they had had on that very same road.
The greatest running back.
Found. The girls claimed that they were pulled over by a police officer who interrogated them in their cars for up.
Holy shit! Either fake cop or real cop that is really down bad. We'll see.
Hours. And the questions being asked during this weren't even relevant to the alleged violations they had committed. Instead, they were more personal, sometimes even sexual, as if the man was trying to seduce them. And it got stranger from there, as when looking into that cop's work record,
next time you call the police instead of hitting that deer to get him off the road.
It was discovered that he was on patrol the night in which Kara had gone missing, and he just so happened to be working that very same stretch of highway. And making things even more concerning was the fact that underneath Kara's fingernails were traces of what appeared to be fabric that matched the material used to make police uniforms.
GG's! It's a real cop.
And hidden in the officer's trunk was heavy rope, with it eventually being revealed that Kara had rope marks around her neck, implying that that's how she was killed. But what does make these accounts so important and so relevant to the topic at hand was the fact that the officer being named by every single one of these women was a man named Craig Allen Pyre.
Who?
Spotting pedestrians at night is difficult, particularly.
And once you get into a car with somebody,
It's this motherfucker? No way.
you're at their mercy.
Because if you do decide to walk, the CHP says you never know who you may meet along the road.
Anything can happen.
It was this guy? No way.
The very same officer that was shown in the local news report. It would eventually be revealed.
Hey, he was warning him at least.
That
Dude,
on
what
December
the
27,
fuck, man?
1986, Craig Allen Pyre pulled over Kara Knott, flirted with her, raped her, strangled her, and then threw her body off a bridge. Only 2 days later appear on this PSA and try and teach the public how to avoid being kidnapped and killed alongside of the highway.
All the way to where you could be killed. Once you get in that other person's car, you're at their mercy.
If strangers should offer assistance, tell them to call police or the CHP.
What an idiot. So this guy left the rope that he killed her with inside of his trunk, bro. Why? Dude, that was just the nail in the coffin, buddy.
Vehicle, lock all the doors, turn on the emergency flashers, and wait for help to come.
It's so incredibly haunting to watch this segment back, especially considering what he's saying, knowing that he was quite literally the cause of the crime that inspired the segment to begin with. Just 2 weeks after the program aired, Officer Craig Pyre would be arrested for the murder of Kara Knott, where he was eventually sentenced 25 years to life in prison.
25 to life, GG's.
Niagara Falls, Ontario.
Let's go. I've been here.
Canada.
I've been here, boys. I used to go every single year.
One of the most famous natural spectacles in the world.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
Niagara Falls, boys. I used to go every February break.
Considered
Dude,
one of
it
the
was
most
so cold
visually
though.
stunning
That's the
locations
coldest
in the
month.
United States.
Never been? Well, you probably haven't been, man. The thing is, it's literally like 5 minutes, or it's like 4 hours away from my house, chat. Maybe not even. It's like 4 hours away from my house, I'm pretty sure. Not even, bro. Dude, Niagara Falls is pretty close.
And even across the world, the 3 waterfalls that make up Niagara Falls
It's like
offer
right
a
across
unique
from Buffalo.
blend of beauty and violence, making it no wonder why tens of thousands of people visit the area every day just to take in the awe-inspiring views and that unbelievable rush of water. But on March 20th, 2003, as a typical crowd gathered to take their photos, their attention was captured by something far different than the scenery. Something that couldn't have been possible.
The closest waterfall I've
It
seen
looked
is
like
the ones from
a
Fort
man
Knox.
Simmer down, buddy.
Though he wasn't being swept over and he wasn't moving at all, he was just standing there at the very edge.
Wait, how? Do you have like ankle weights on, or what's going on here? Bro's Brock Lee.
Like a man in the water. Though he wasn't being swept over and he wasn't moving at all, he was just standing there at the very edge.
Dude, he has to have ankle weights on. This shit, look at this, bro. The current is insane.
The falls, staring off into oblivion. Police were immediately called to the scene as a panic arose, and within minutes, rescue crews would begin their work, along with a cameraman from a local news station.
Oh, he wasn't in the current. Okay. Either that or he's queso. Wait, no way. Bro, he has to have ankle weights on. He's got to be strapped up. Bro, this is not real. Cement feet. Bro, I know his quads have to be burning. You know that thing has to be bent. Best view you can get out of the Niagara Falls is in Panera State. I used to live there 4 years ago. Huh. You know, I went to the restaurant right there, actually. There's like a restaurant that you can go right next to Niagara Falls. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. And there's like a second floor, and you can go up there and then see the falls from a better angle. It's pretty cool.
Should have been an impossible scenario, as an unnamed 48-year-old man was standing at the edge of the most powerful waterfall.
What the fuck are you doing, buddy?
Somehow staying balanced and remaining fully calm.
Dude, he's just him. He's actually just him.
Being just 1 foot away from dropping over 180 feet to certain death. Unsure of how the man had ended up in the water, or how it was even possible for him to stay upright.
Bro, in February, the shit looked like this, bro. The mountains, or not the mountains, the falls looked insane in the winter. We went in the winter, the water particles or whatever, like the mist from the waterfall, literally was splashing your face, and it would turn to ice when it hit your face because it was so cold in Canada. So you went to Argentina, right? Or to Brazil? No, Niagara Falls in Canada. We're talking about Niagara Falls in Canada. Niagara Falls in Canada. Now, dude, but it looked insane. It looks like this. And now they have like lights under the falls and shit, so you can see a bunch of cool, like, it likes to, like, I don't know, makes it look cool. But it kind of looked like this.
Rescue workers sprang into action with two men, Pop
Except way more modern.
and Gary Carella, sliding into the water and attempting to walk towards him. But even for them, the current was just too much, forcing them to almost immediately turn back, while the man yelled to them.
How the fuck is he staying balanced? He's got to be, like, wedged into something.
He was losing his strength, and to not let him go over. To aid in the rescue, a helicopter was sent in to try and airlift the man up, but immediately the force of the rotors began to create strong gusts of wind, leading to this.
Wait, he's chilling.
Now the man lay there, feet dangling over the edge of the falls, as
Okay,
the
he's
freezing
chilling.
cold water pelted him relentlessly. By this point, that man had already been in the water for over 1 hour, and his grip
Why
was
would
slowly
they save the
slipping.
dude?
And so,
However
in a
way he
last-ditch
got
prayer,
there is the
a
way
rescue
he
worker
gets back.
Why would they say the dude, however way he got there is the same way he gets back? That's not how it works with water currents, buddy. You can't go the other way. It's literally, if he goes the other way, he's dropping down, bro. If he tries to go the other way, he can't make it back, bro. There's no way.
inside the helicopter decided to toss a life preserver, knowing that this would likely be their final shot at saving him. And miraculously, the current caught it and brought it directly to him.
Let's go, boys!
With every bit of strength he had left, the man would let go of the rock he was clinging to and lunge towards the preserver.
Wait, this is not even disturbing. Buddy, he just won.
Grabbing a hold of it as crews on shore began to pull him to safety. Or at least, they thought.
No! No shot.
As he was being towed to shore, the man approached what looked to be land, though in actuality, this was an ice shelf that extended
Dude, what the fuck, man?
Out over the water, meaning that the black line you see here isn't actually land, but instead a small opening between the sheet of ice and the water itself. And within that small opening, the rapids were raging at tenfold due to the increased pressure of the small size.
Oh
And so
my
while the
goodness.
man was being pulled towards rescue workers, he was almost immediately sucked underneath, pinning him in an immovable situation. Moriarty and Carella knew that they had to engage once again, or else the man was certainly going to drown, with their testimony later on showing
Holy
just
shit.
how dire the situation had become.
Just told us, let me go. He just gave up. He said, save yourselves.
You
let me
jinxed
go.
it.
Let me go.
But the rescue crews had come too far to just give up, and despite the pressure of the water
Never back down, never what?
becoming almost too much to bear, Carella slipped a harness around the man and gave the signal for the group to be lifted up.
Dude, holy shit, bro. You know, I just know this is so cold right here, bro. Because you're getting slapped in the face by mist the entire time. Even if you're on dry land, you're getting slapped in the face by mist that literally instantly turns into ice once it hits your face, I swear. Or it's any, like, hair or anything, bro. You're literally turning to ice.
Somehow, they had all done the impossible, and with the victim now on solid ground, he was taken to a nearby hospital where, despite suffering from severe hypothermia, he would go on to survive, making it one of the most incredible rescues
shit.
ever shown on television. But with the victim now safe, it was time to figure out what exactly had happened. Well, apparently, the man had lost all of his money due to a crippling gambling addiction.
Fuck, bro. I should have guessed this, bro. When I was in Niagara Falls, dude, the casinos there are huge, bro. I mean, like in any tourist city, they're huge, obviously, but bro, when I went there, I was like, what are all these buildings? I would ask my grandparents, my dad, I'd be like, what are all these buildings, bro? And I was like, bro, we gotta go to one of these. And like, oh, it's casinos. The biggest buildings in some of these cities aren't like business, dude. The tourist cities, the biggest buildings are always the casinos. They're like 100-floor casino, bro. It's nuts.
Even gambling away the last of his family's own cash, losing everything
Oh my goodness,
everyone
bro.
in the process. And he entered the water that day, hoping to make it his last. But as he drifted towards the edge, he suddenly had a change of heart and decided to fight for survival. And somehow, when trying to stop himself, his foot became lodged in between two rocks, which also aided in shielding him from the rushing current, allowing him not only to stay there, but to stand upright. It's unknown what happened to the man from here, as he's understandably never been named publicly, but I do hope he managed to find some peace and purpose, as his story is one of very few of this nature with a happy ending.
This is why I won't gamble, bro. This is why I will not gamble. I refuse to gamble.
Especially with...
Cause dude, that shit is too much fun, like actually, bro.
Within Niagara Falls, as the area has become a hotspot for attempts just like this, the vast majority of which sadly end successfully. And as it turns out, one such example of this was captured when the cameras happened to be rolling.
No way.
Frazier that recorded the man's actions as he was taping a special program with Phil Kavitz. It is Phil's voice you will hear on the tape.
Factories, hotels, and other buildings line the river.
As TV host Phil Kavitz is recording a program for the local nightly news in Buffalo, New York, he did so near the mouth of Niagara Falls, where the rapids are raging in a particularly fearsome manner. When suddenly...
Buildings line the river. Then Frederick Olmsted started a campaign to persuade...
We see a man come running from the brush and leap directly into the water. For obvious reasons, I can't show what happens next, as the water begins to sweep the man towards the edge of the falls. But the audio alone is sufficient in showing just how traumatic the moment was for the news crews watching on.
Factories, hotels, and other buildings line the river. Then Frederick Olmsted started a campaign to persuade New York to buy the land.
This is all in GTA.
Oh my God!
Holy...
Ooh, wait, I know what that is, Nilo. I know what that is.
Oh my God! Oh my... Oh!
As they watched in horror, the man was dragged to the edge and then swept directly off, going over head first and standing no chance of survival. According to the report, the man was never identified and his body was never found, likely having been pinned by the impossible force of the water at the bottom. But what I find most chilling about this video is the fact that it's only seemingly been archived in this poor quality, which makes deciphering details about it incredibly difficult. However, there were many who watched the program on TV the day after, as the news station actually aired this footage for the world to see, and one particular account has haunted me since the moment I first read it.
Oh my goodness, bro. These videos suck to watch. They're so interesting, but they literally, like, don't make you feel good, bro. They make you feel like shit.
I remember seeing this when it was first broadcast. Freaked me the hell out. It wasn't a worn-out videotape back then, and the image was a lot cleaner. The guy looked at the news crew and into the camera when they started yelling. Creepy and sad as hell. Despite being known for its beauty, there is a dark side to this amazing location, and one that has become, and likely will remain, no stranger to the world of television.
What the hell, man? This guy makes good videos. That's a sub for me. That's a sub for me. Photos with disturbing backstories. Bro, these videos sound so interesting. Like, all these videos sound so interesting, bro.
Great video.
Bro, these actually look so good, bro.
Alex from
I want to subscribe to all these ones, bro.
High-end security there.
Like, actually, bro, these ones look good. Interesting video. Really interesting video. They don't make you feel good, but bro, these are actually kind of cool to watch at the end of the night. Anyways, I want to show you guys Niagara Falls. So, not the Travis Scott song. Let me see. In winter. Dude, it looks insane. I used to go back here 8 years ago. I might have been around here.
Soaring hundreds of
This is what it looks like, bro. It looks insane, does it not?
feet over Niagara Falls, a spectacular sight. Frigid air brought in via the in about an hour. The only time Niagara Falls
Holy shit.
stopped flowing entirely was in March 1848, blocked by an ice jam that allowed people to walk on the riverbed.
Oh, holy shit, well, that's awesome. Dude, we're the at night. We gotta look at night. At night, it's different. It's a whole different thing. Look at this shit. This is what it looks like, bro. At night, it looks insane. Look at this shit, bro. This does not look insane. Bro, I told you guys they have lights and shit. It's actually really cool. Winter at night. Was that during winter? Niagara Falls in winter. Yeah. All right, here we go. This is what it looks like, bro. It looks insane.
Get the light in there.
I don't know. Probably pretty carefully. Yeah. It's insane. Now, I could barely hear anything because I literally had like 2 hats on, a shiesty, like 2 hoods on, bro. Like, it is so unbelievably cold, chat. It is so unbelievably cold. It's actually insane being here. But it looks really cool. But it's just like, damn. Like, bro, it is so cold here. I've never been up the tower, though. This is too expensive for me. That was too expensive for us. We used to go on the, wait, I wonder if I could look it up. Niagara Falls, chat, what do they call those wheels? Ferris wheel. Ferris wheel. They have like a Ferris wheel right next to it. It's pretty cool. We used to take the Ferris wheel at least. Yeah, it was this one. Chad, do Ferris wheels freak you out? But yeah, you get a pretty decent view. You get a good view of the city. See, all these are like casinos, chat. You see what I'm saying? These are all casinos, buddy. But you can see the falls right over there. You see the city. The only problem is that there's a big-ass fucking parking lot. I don't think this is the one, bro. This can't be the one. There wasn't this huge... Dude, there was not this huge thing. Was it? No, maybe it was, bro. Yeah, it was. Dude, this was literally the biggest tourist attraction ever, chat. Like, this was like mini Canada. I remember going to these spots, bro. So, you see how there's like this really cool, like, Burger King with like... And there's like this place over here with Katy Perry there. Like a full, like, wax thing of her. Fun Zone Laser. Yeah, Laser. IHOP's there. Yeah, your Tim Hortons. That's pretty standard. No, this place is really cool. Ripley's is there. Dude, it's literally just a tourist location. I mean, but it was really cool, bro. I might have pictures on my phone, actually, from, like, my dad's iCloud or some shit. Bro, no, it was insane. This place is pretty cool. It's pretty cool.